I guarantee he paid for it.
I can't.
I guarantee it.
Calm down, brother.
Come to the fight. Come to the fight.
They probably gonna get you f***ed up.
Because Lamont Roach can fight, and he thinks he's going to see the better Gervonta Davis, come out this time. I certainly hope we do.
Gervonta Davis isn't just confident, he's cocky. He's already calling the rematch a done deal, promising to dominate Lamont Roach and shut down any talk of an upset. And get the stank is so sure he'll knock Roach out that he's betting $5 million on it. To him, Roach isn't even a threat. He's brushing off fans and critics who think Roach has a shot, basically saying the first fight was a fluke, and this time, he's ending it early.
Beat his ass.
You can't do shit.
For real. Man, be quiet.
I don't give a y'all was quiet. Y'all, if y'all was loud,
they got the whole hood over there. Like, twist it up. I don't give a about none of that.
Do whatever y'all want. My mother, he can't stop nothing over here.
None of that.
Not at all.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna f him up.
Not at all. Never. Nothing's gonna get f***ed up over here. What do I look like getting f***ed up?
Okay.
That shit ain't never gonna stop nothing over here.
And he gonna pay for it. I guarantee he pay for it.
I can't.
I guarantee it.
Calm down. Calm down, brother.
Come to the fight. Come to the fight.
They probably gonna get you f***ed up. Look, fool. Hey, fool. This me and you, fool. This me and you, fool.
Tank.
This me and you, fool. Don't worry about them. They might get you dead. They gonna trick you out your spot. They gonna trick you out your spot, fool. Don't worry about them.
Come on, stop. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know how I'm coming. Y'all know how I'm coming. So stop it. Y'all gonna make it hard for him. That's what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna make it hard for him.
This rematch has fans buzzing, and it's giving serious flashbacks to when Floyd Mayweather first fought Marcos Maidana. Back then, Maidana gave Floyd hell in the first fight and had people thinking he'd win the rematch. But Floyd came back, smarter, switched up his game plan, and made Maidana look like an amateur in the second fight. Now, we could be looking at the same kind of story with Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Roach looked like the better fighter in their first matchup, and public opinion has swung hard in his favor. But here's the twist. Davis is no rookie. He's known for adjusting, learning fast, and flipping the script. This rematch is his shot to shut the critics up, fix his mistakes, and remind everyone who the real king is.
YouTube, we're back again with some more boxing news in the boxing world. Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach for the rematch is on the horizon. It will be happening this year, and it will be happening very, very soon. This is the thing, YouTube. If y'all agree with me on what I'm about to tell y'all, I want y'all to throw the thumbs up, because this is what's gonna happen. If y'all remember the Mayweather and Maidana match, where everybody thought Maidana beat Mayweather in the first match when they fought each other, like he dominated him, he beat him. Same thing goes here. Lamont Roach, everybody's saying that he dominated Gervonta Davis, but this is not going to happen in the rematch. Gervonta Davis is going to dominate Lamont Roach. If y'all agree with me on what I'm telling y'all, this is just like the Mayweather-Maidana fight. I'm trying to tell you. Lamont Roach is going to lose in the rematch, and that's a guarantee. That's not a prediction. That is a spoiler. If y'all agree with me, throw a thumbs up. And if you ain't got Eat Up Keeps the News, subscribe.
After the drama and controversy of their first fight, Gervonta Davis knew something had to change. He shook up his whole training camp, ditched the old routines, and brought in a brand new coach. This wasn't just a smart move, it was personal. Davis wanted to cut out all the distractions, get serious, and prove he's still elite. He's not just showing up for a rematch, he's out for revenge. Every mistake he made that gave Lamont Roach any kind of momentum, he's working day and night to erase it. The new training methods, the stricter discipline, it all shows one thing. Davis isn't playing games. He's coming in laser-focused, prepared for anything, and ready to silence everyone who doubted him after the first fight. Let me know if you want it even more raw or aggressive for YouTube-style storytelling.
Yo, what's going on, fight fans? Check it out. It looks like Gervonta Davis has a new coach. And this is Coach Mustafa. He's a well-known coach down in the Atlanta area, and it looks like he's starting to train with him. I know he has that upcoming rematch coming up. It looks like it's slated for June. Now, this coach is known for his working on timing, precision, accuracy. Those are some of the things that this coach is well known for. He's also been training Tevin Farmer for his past 2 fights. Now, what does this mean for Tank? Is he leaving Coach Kyle and Coach Kenny, or is he adding Coach Mustafa to the team? Is it smart to switch trainers so close to a fight? Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below.
This isn't just another fight, it's the most talked about rematch of the year. Lamont Roach is the only guy in recent memory who actually gave Gervonta Davis real problems in the ring. Their first fight didn't settle anything it sparked. Chaos fans were left wondering, did Roach just get lucky, or is he actually the better fighter? Now, the rematch is here to give answers. Can Roach prove it wasn't a fluke hand, maybe even do more damage this time? Or will Davis come back like a beast and shut down all the talk by putting Roach in his place? The pressure is real. A fight isn't just about a win, it's about pride, legacy, and who really runs the division. Both men know what's at stake, ... and neither is willing to back down.
Who am I here with today?
Lamont Roach Jr.
I don't know who you are, man. What do you do for a living?
And I box.
How long you been boxing for?
I've been boxing since I was 9 years old, so 20 years.
How old were you when you made your first million?
I was 29.
You made some money. What's the best piece of advice about money you've received throughout your career?
Save that money gonna save you.
Has there ever been one experience where you spent too much money than you thought you should have, that you regret?
That I regret? No, but there's been a lot of times where I shouldn't have spent as much money as I did.
Is there one piece of advice that now that you've been boxing for a couple of years, you could tell your younger self about boxing?
My advice to my younger self would be keep going. You're gonna end up exactly where you're supposed to be at, as long as you work hard, put your faith in God, and you just keep pushing.
What made you really stand out as a boxer?
My hard work, determination to be the best.
Is there one boxer that you think inspires you the most with your play style?
I take bits and pieces from all boxers, even some of my opponents and stuff like that.
Anyone specifically?
No, not necessarily.
What keeps you motivated to keep pushing hard still?
It's definitely hard for me to give up because I know what's at stake. I know what can happen. I know what can happen with hard work. But if I ever feel like giving up, my motivation would be my son, my family, the ones who behind me 100%. They've been down at the bottom with me, so they coming up top with me.
Where can they find you on social media, man?
101X.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you, bro.
While Gervonta Davis talks loud and flexes cash, Lamont Roach stays calm, focused, and grounded. He doesn't need the flashy chains or trash talk. He leads with faith, hard work, and quiet confidence. No drama, no distractions, just pure grind. Roach trains like a man on a mission. He believes he's being guided by something bigger than boxing, and that mindset shows. While others chase clout, Roach stays humble and locked in. Even with the spotlight growing and the pressure building, he hasn't changed. That mental strength, it's what's carried him through every challenge and landed him right back in this high-stakes rematch. He's not just ready physically. Roach is locked in spiritually and emotionally too, and that's dangerous for a guy like Davis, who might be underestimating him again.
I just want to know, when is the rematch going to happen at this point? Because I'm not going to lie, for it to be a whole month later and y'all still arguing over who actually won, it's just really like, okay, yeah, run it back, because we got to go ahead and settle this, squabble this up. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say neither fighter in here is shitty, okay? Because after the fight I seen on March 1st, yeah, they both was tagging shit, both getting up with each other, okay? I feel like this is the perfect match. If anybody's gonna do a rematch, you need to be down, period. And Gervonta was stinging him. I'm not gonna lie, he was stinging him. Great fight for him. But I'm not gonna lie, he came out knowing what he was trying to do. Y'all have to give it to him. Like, y'all just be hating, okay? Y'all can't get in the ring and fucking fight. Y'all just be hating. At least I'm giving them they props, okay? Because Gervonta had a great fight. Don't get me wrong. My money was on him. But I think what messed him up was the fact that when he came out, y'all know he usually be 2 steps ahead. He was 3 steps ahead. I feel like he already had Tank figured out. And he definitely was not expecting that. And him, on the other hand, I think he came in really having something to prove. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, it was a really good fight, and I feel like this is how I see it. In the beginning of the fight, he was stinking, back to back, you know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the fight, that's when he finally kicked it up. But I seen consistency through him through the whole fight. Not gonna lie, like, so I just feel like the rematch should happen because never know. He might, now that he was 3 steps ahead, become 8 steps ahead, and he might really knock his butt down. But at the end of the day, it's like, we need this rematch because I don't think this is ever gonna be a dispute that is settled and, you know, officially he won, he lost until they fight. Like, we gotta see it.
The trash talk is heating up. The interviews are getting wild, but at the end of the day, all that noise means nothing when the bell rings. The rematch is where the truth gets exposed. Reputations will either be made or destroyed, no hiding. No excuses. All the online debates, all the back and forth from both camps. It'll disappear the moment fists start flying. This isn't about who talks better, it's about who fights better. And once the final bell sounds, there won't be any more what ifs. The real story gets written in the ring, and when it's all said and done, the whole world will know exactly who the better man is. No controversy, no debate, just cold, brutal truth.
Everybody really think Tank go take the L. I've been seeing it. They said it's over. They think that this time Lamont go in more confident, knowing that basically he can, you know, really take it to Tank. Yeah, I want him to go in there confident. He's very skilled. Go in there confident because you will go up against a different Tank. Like I told y'all in previous videos, he gonna go in there confident thinking he can walk Tank down. Don't forget, with Tank, if he get you on that button, them lights going off, I don't care who you is. Remember how it ended up with Frank Martin? So yeah, don't go in there thinking that you going against like somebody that, like Ryan Garcia, somebody that's gonna fold. You going against Gervonta Tank Davis. And I think that confidence is what's gonna get Lamont dropped. Because one thing I will say, with Tank, that wasn't your best fight against Lamont, bro. I feel like you was in your head too much, you was overconfident, and you was really just, your mind was in y'all story, the lore and everything with y'all history. You ain't going there like I'm fighting a stranger. You going there like, oh, this Lamont, this from the same camp, we from the same area. But now I think that whole situation woke him up, because you got to think, Tank not used to losing. He not used to people being against him. He not used to being the one that like got to step back from a situation. That's why I think he's being hushed right now, because when he come this time, it ain't no talking. And that's why I think it's scary, because we never see Tank in that mode where he don't say a word. I think this gonna be a different Tank. And what's crazy is Tank used to be like that in the beginning. Like when he was with Floyd, like when I'm talking about Tank with the fade, with the waves, bro. He ain't used to be on that showboat and stuff until he got like, you know, a little bit more in the boxing, you know, thing. Of course, once you with Floyd, you're gonna start being flashy and doing backflips off the ring. But in his beginning stages, dude wasn't playing. He was dropping I think that's what he about to go to, bro. And we know that people like, man, did he take Calvin off his team? Nah, like he said, Calvin his boy. I think he's just rocking with somebody else right now to get him some sharper skills, you know, to just change up his skill and what people know him by. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I think Tank will take it to Lamont. And that's not me being biased. I think we ain't ever seen Tank like this before.
After catching heat from critics and fans, Gervonta Davis is stepping back into the ring with something to prove. People have been questioning his hunger, his focus even, saying he's not the same fighter anymore. That kind of talk lit a fire. Under him now, Davis is grinding harder than ever. His camp is locked in, no distractions, no ego, just pure war mode. He's tightening every weakness Roach exposed in their first fight. No more lazy rounds, no more mistakes. Davis knows the boxing world smells blood when a fighter looks vulnerable, and he's not giving them that chance again. This isn't just about getting his hand raised. Davis wants to shut mouths, flip the narrative, and remind everyone exactly who he is. He's not just chasing a win, he's hunting a statement knockout.
Do you think he wins that rematch with Lamont Roach?
I don't know, honestly. I really don't know. It's a 50-50 fight. It's a 50-50 fight. I don't know, honestly. I really don't know.
Does a lot of it hinge on Gervonta and like which version he shows up with? And no disrespect to Roach, but you know what I mean.
No, that is disrespectful to Roach, and like y'all fight fans gotta realize that is disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like he in there fighting another grown man that ain't going for none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you don't think Roach is gonna come with another game plan or something better or this, that, and third? So when they had a rematch, are y'all still gonna say, oh, Take's still not his full self ever since he fought whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like Roach is a hell of a fighter. He proved he was a hell of a fighter, so he need to get that credit. He's a hell of a fighter. I don't know who's gonna win that rematch. I honestly feel like Tank is losing love for the sport, or he lost the love for the sport, and he's no longer hungry anymore.
Well, that's what I was getting at.
Yet you got a guy that's just super hungry and never had no attention, now getting all his attention, and now he get around two of his attention. Is like, shit, that's kind of hard to beat. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Tank is he's still a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's 50-50. And to your point, we were saying, okay, he lost love of the sport. I don't really think Canelo got the same love he had for the sport when he was coming up.
Lamont Roach has stayed locked in nothing but discipline and focus heading into this rematch. He knows exactly how big this moment is and isn't fooled by his past success. While some fighters get cocky after one good performance, Roach is treating this like a brand new war. No arrogance, just sharp eyes, hard training, and a mind locked on victory. He's studying Davis closely, watching for improvements, making adjustments, and preparing for every possible scenario. That kind of awareness doesn't come from talent. Alone, it comes from a mentally elite fighter who's leveling up at the perfect time. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Keyshawn Davis recently threw gas on the fire. He publicly questioned Gervonta's passion for boxing, hinting that the hunger might be fading. That hit a nerve. Because while Davis is surrounded by money and distractions, Roach looks hungrier than ever. He's training like a man with something to prove. That mental gap, one fighter obsessed with glory, the other possibly coasting, could be the deciding factor. In a sport where heart and fire make the difference, Roach may have the edge. This rematch isn't just about skill, it's about who wants it more. And right now, the contrast between a rising Roach and a possibly plateauing Gervonta Davis is what's making this fight so unpredictable and so dangerous.
One of the best trainers in boxing, second guy in the corner, is responsible for a lot of the real tactical decisions and tactical analysis that goes on in Gervonta Davis's corner. So you have Coach Calvin, and Coach Calvin is the head trainer, and you have Coach Kenny, who really specializes on preparing game plans specifically for opponents. So to have him talk about what's going on with Lamont Roach, I thought was interesting and insightful, because what he said was that, one, he's not falling for the okie doke. When Mill City asked him, hey, what do you think about the fact that, that Lamont Roach was seen at a basketball game chugging a beer? And I would have added to the question that you see Lamont Roach out giving a bunch of interviews, doing the interview circuit, right? Kind of being a little bit out of character leading into the rematch. Do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table, and he says that Lamont Roach is, we're not believing that he's out there drinking or blowing up a bunch of weight and all of that. He says what most people say, hey, we're going to prepare for the best version of Lamont Roach that is going to, that'll come for us. But the way that he saw the fight coming out was he said he sees it like the fight before, a lot of really crisp shots landing.
Gervonta Davis has made a serious move. He's brought in Kenny Ellis, a respected name in the boxing world, to fix every crack in his game. Ellis isn't just any trainer. He's known for running tight camps, drilling discipline, and sharpening fighters mentally as well as physically. Under Ellis's watch, Davis is fixing the flaws that cost him momentum in the first fight. He's pushing his stamina, tightening his technique, and most importantly, building a stronger ring IQ. Ellis isn't just working his body, he's reprogramming his mind for war. The chemistry between Davis and Ellis is already turning heads. This isn't the reckless, flashy Davis people were starting to doubt. This is a more focused, structured, and flat-out dangerous version of Tank. If Ellis has truly unlocked the next level in Davis, Lamont Roach might be walking into a storm he didn't see coming.
Davis draw with Lamont Roach. People looking at it as controversial because of the whole knee. What'd you think of the fight?
It was a great fight. I had it 7-5 Tank, or you can make it the draw. But I feel like Lamont, he did good. He did a great job actually. I just don't think he did enough to pull it off. And I feel like people was overlooking what Tank was doing in the first 5-6 rounds. He was boxing and frustrating him a little bit. But Lamont, like I said before, Lamont did a great job.
Yeah, some people had it Tank, some people had it draw, some people had it Lamont. Do you think Tank gets a lot of criticism for not knocking Lamont out and Lamont not being a big name, so they overblow it?
I think so, yeah, and I feel like people just don't like Tank to a point where any little thing, just because he ain't knock him out, he probably feel as though that he lost and he didn't, or it was a draw. I feel like Tank was doing a lot of smart things in the beginning, moving a little bit too much, but I feel like he was still frustrating them and things like that. And I think Tank did a good job. He looked sharp to me. I don't know. People just be talking. At the end of the day, you can't please everybody.
Were you surprised that Lamont was in spots winning the exchanges and kind of caught Tank with some good shots that he visibly I got to reset?
Yeah.
The first fight exposed a side of Gervonta Davis that shocked fans and analysts alike. He looked sluggish, his timing was off, his energy faded way too early. Lamont Roach saw the cracks and took full advantage, changing the pace and flipping the fight in his favor. That version of Davis didn't just look rusty, he looked unprepared, physically and mentally. Now the rematch is Davis's shot at redemption, a chance to prove that what we saw before wasn't the beginning of his decline, it was just a bad night. But let's be clear, redemption only comes if he's truly fixed those flaws. It wasn't all bad though. Davis actually started Crisp combos, moving well, and flashing his signature power. For a few rounds it looked like vintage Tank, but then you faded fast. Analysts like Jaron Ennis believe those early rounds still say a lot Davis has the skill. The real question is, can he keep that fire going from the first bell to the last? This rematch is the platform to prove it. If Davis can maintain that early explosiveness across all 12 rounds, Roach is going to face a much more dangerous beast than before. But if Davis crashes again, the critics won't just talk, they'll bury him.
He's going to try to get to us, but we're going to frustrate him. He doesn't get frustrated. He takes his time. He's deliberate. You know, a lot of times at the beginning, people thought he was just a seek and destroy missile. They thought he was just a guy that got to you. And they thought that he would get over anxious. He don't get over anxious. He takes his time. He slowly crosses, closes those gaps. You know, inch by inch, step by step. And then he gets to you.